Welcome. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and what my children's lives may be, I go and I lie down where the wood drake rests its beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought or grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day blind stars waiting for their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. Welcome. Another installment of Being the Light. Evelyn, always the first one on, man. Thanks. Good to see you. Kim Princess, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you guys. Should be a pretty cool show tonight. I'm pretty stoked. We're going to be discussing Wabi Sabi. The art is in the imperfections, and it's kind of been my life philosophy for the past 30 years, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you tonight. I just wanted to remind everybody to catch the replay on Karen's show that just took place a little while ago, and to make sure that you stick around and catch Jennifer Rose on the Love Show tonight. A twin flame discussion should be pretty cool as always. And I have to say, man, this is not this past week, but the week before, Jennifer had this woman named Gertrude on, and she's been done 4 TED Talks, and this woman channels light in a really big way, man. And she said a bunch of lines during that show that have really stuck with me and are continuing to kind of reverberate. And that's when you know you've got somebody truly in the light. Welcome, Carol. Glad to see you could make it. Yeah. Mondays roll around really super fast. Yes, Kim, do not confuse it with wasabi. It's exactly the same, but different. Oh, man. So before we get cranked up, I want to thank my sponsors, Ernie Mosteller at Fried Okra Entertainment. Check him out on his Instagram page. Amazing photography, and one of my angels, keeping us afloat and helping us continue the mission. And heartfelt love and thanks, my brother. And my other angel, Audrey Asciuto, who has a really amazing bed and breakfast on the Circle right here in Sebring. Yeah, Audrey's place. And I really want to thank both of them for their faith in the mission and putting it up where it counts. You guys are amazing. So thank you very, very much. Yeah. So I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk a little bit about entities, like spiritual entities, entities outside of our human existence here for a little bit. I think a lot of times people get kind of stuck in their mind with like it's a demon or it's an angel, or there's a few of the kind of go-to entities that people think about. But in my experience, me and my shadow, always good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Um, in my experience in traveling around the astral for many, 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 many years, we live in a rainforest. We live in a jungle, man. There are as many different kinds of life and energetic beings out there as there are in the jungle. And some of them are really just like everything else. Some of them are really cool. Some of them are really weird. Some of them are kind of cranky and don't really like being messed with. And you do have your angels, you do have your demons, you do have your departed souls, and but yeah, just kind of having my eyes open to just even a shred of how big that universe is and how populated the universe is. Um, was a really, really, really good thing. And I wanted to kind of share a story with you. This happened really early in my training with my teacher. And he was kind of just sort of testing my boundaries and see what kind of abilities I actually had. And we had a really nice practice. And at one point, he said, "Okay, I want to do something here." And he turned all the lights off, a little dim red light in the room. And he sat down back on his chair. And I always know it's going to be good when he says, "Now, don't say anything." I'm permanently like because he blows me away. So I'm all set. I got all settled back, and the room's really dark. And all of a sudden, I see this little glow happening around where I know he is. And it starts to grow and becomes this little glowing egg shape. And then little, little, little spheres, little orbs started coming off of it. And it was spinning, of course, spinning. And it started growing and getting bigger. And the little orbs were getting bigger, and now it's not just hanging out over his body, but it's like now filling up the room. And it looks like there's a mirror ball in the room, and things are going along around all crazy. And I'm going woof, and he can't see that at this point. And all of a sudden it sort of stopped, and the main central um, light came up close to me and then went boom and went right in me, right through me. And all of a sudden I was like kind of inside myself, and there was gooky stuff kind of hanging out. And all of a sudden they were inside and like cleaning up all of this, like, yeah, dirty stuff, but like gooey, like stringy, mucusy kind of looking stuff. And after they finished, I was like in ecstasy. It was the greatest feeling I had had. And so Augie turns on the lights and starts to ask me some questions. And I'm like, "Yeah, it happened right there, right there, right there. And then if this happened, and like it went all around." He was like, "Wow, you saw all that?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And so that was my first introduction to some of Aug's um, energetic friends. And there's not really a name for those. I haven't ever like seen those described anywhere in a book. And because he found them, he got to name them, and he called them the flagey. And they've remained friends of mine like for going on 15 years now. And I call and play with them. They love my artwork. They love being around when I'm creating art. And they wind up showing up right at the most opportune times sometimes. So, and that really opened my eyes into how many different kinds of creatures there are out there. Excuse me. So, Carol, on your reach out to me, I kind of got the feeling you didn't really get the answer that you were looking for. So I thought I'd give a little addendum here. And if you're concerned that, first of all right, the question was how to like kind of protect yourself from evil, negative entities. And the best way to protect yourself against that is to not let them get anywhere near you to begin with. And keeping your light shining really bright and at a really high frequency, man, they can't mess with you. That's like, it's like repellent and makes them go away. They find somewhere else to be. So, and the way to do that, we do that kind of in our practice every week, but like specifically, you're just drawing up energy into your solar plexus and spreading that energy out into your light body and just making it brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Scratchy throat tonight. Sorry. And that's the best way to do. Another really great way, and this is most of those entities when they want to stick around are looking to feed on low vibration energy, anger, fear, despair. Like they love that, and they'll like make circumstances happen so that you generate that energy, and they're around for a free meal. So one, when you're keeping your energy really light, you're not sending out the energy they want to eat. The other thing is that there's something around and you feel it around, do not go to fear space. Think of the thing that made you laugh the hardest. And just, if you can just bust out a genuine balls to the wall laugh, guffaw, man, like, ha ha ha. Oh man. That is kind of a miraculous little tool too. But you have to make sure that you don't go into oh my God, I'm in trouble. Because you've got to really just find the absurdity in it and understand that they have no power over you other than what you give them and participate in. And then there's things that you can do around your house and things, jewelry you can wear. Obsidian's really great for protection. Turquoise, amazing for protection. The Navajos use that, like all the Navajo medicine men, like use that anytime they were doing spirit quests or doing any kind of spiritual rituals whatsoever. So, wearing turquoise or having some turquoise around you, really, really great. Having some nice, wonderful crystals around, a crystal cluster around that you like charge to keep your environment purified. Awesome, super awesome, super awesome. And then last but not least, the little, when we start to make sacred space, I always clean the space, right? I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure with the light of the source. And if you're bringing in the light of the source and you're cleaning your environment like that, you don't need a bowl to do that. You can just use your energy and project that out into the room, and just do a 360, 4 sides, in every direction. I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. Say a prayer, whatever you need to do to make the vibration higher is really great. My bowl This is my trusty bowl, man. This bowl has been with me for 40 years. And that little thing I do at the beginning, um, where it goes around and makes the clang, I use that clang like as it's going around and I'm saying the words, I'm building up my energy, and when that clang happens from my solar plexus, boom, I just blast out white light into the whole room. And it's really fast and effective. So there are four really nice ones to grab onto. So I hope you find those useful. And if you need further, if you have some further questions, man, don't ever be shy about like sending me a an additional email and say, hey, what the hell are you talking about here? Okay. All right. Wanted to. I've been getting in the habit of doing a pull, tarot pull for the group for the night, and this was a particularly good one. This is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is lasting, abiding abundance of emotional joy and emotional richness. Um, and then the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is it's about connection from the divine, opening you up. And for me, you know, on the mundane level, on the earth level, this is like where you find your heart opening up to love. You know, like if you've been through a time where you were just by yourself and you weren't into it and it wasn't ready, and now you find yourself kind of going, you know, I really could be open to that sort of scenario. That's the card that represents that. On the higher level, this card represents opening up your intuition and your clairvoyance and receiving and connecting with the higher spirit, with the source. Awesome, cool card. Hey, Colin Walker, good to see you, my brother. And last but not least, um, the Chariot. And the Chariot represents victory, 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 victory on every single front. And this card really represents being focused on a goal you're going after, and just, man, like nothing can get in your way. And so pretty wonderful reading, a really nice, wonderful emotional state of mind to open yourself up to your intuition and expanding your vision, and victory in that quest. So pretty cool reading for this evening. All right, let me get this out of the way. Couple of, let me see here. Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I shared with you that I got some feedback and some discussion with someone, that the first one that did the salt thing, bringing the salt from the other room. And they've done really well and kept up with it. So I'm going to follow through with my promise and show them the next level of that. There are four levels to the little bringing things, and tonight's first one we did was the salt. So that's kind of like about a solid materialized object. Tonight what we're going to do is bring some water from the kitchen and do the same thing. And let me do it first and then we'll get on with it. Okay, so we got our little bottle here. It's all empty. And all right, yeah. All right, so give me a second just to get zeroed in here. It's exactly the same as the solids, but different. All right. Oh, that was a little weird. Okay. Oh, we did it though. All right. Let's see here. I might pour it in something. There we go. Little H2O. All right. So, congratulations. I'm really, really proud of you for going after it. Like, I can't believe you actually did it and you're acing it. And I just give you encouragement to go on to the next one. If you have any questions, you're going to have to calibrate a little differently for a liquid. All right. And water is a special kind of liquid. So just don't get discouraged and just give it a try and make sure that you just um, take it down to the particle level. Okay. All of this, man, take it down to the particle level where nothing is solid. It's all just particles, and elevate those so that they are out of phase in this frequency. And that's, you know, that you brought the salt already. So just repeat that. And, it was a little different for me doing a liquid because it was like when I did the spinning thing, like I love the metal rods. I really find my energy simpatico with metal, and I dig it a lot. I try to do at the beginning some wooden dowels, and for whatever reason they're solid, but they didn't feel as solid to me energetically. They felt kind of squishy and kind of weird. So I did not really enjoy those at all. And you'll notice that everything that you work with in that zone is going to react to your own personal frequency and vibration. And some things will be easier, some things will be more difficult. But just a word of encouragement and congratulations, and keep going, man. You're on the edge of opening up a world that you can't even imagine right now. So major kudos. All right. I've been in a really introspective. Well, let me say hi to everybody. Nancy, what's up? Hello, Jennifer Rose. Always good to see you, Ms. Rose. Make sure I haven't missed anybody. Vivian, good to see you, girlfriend. All right. So, Wabi Sabi. I ran across this in a kind of obscure book about 30 years ago, 35 years ago. And it just like resonated with me so hard. And the whole mindset in a sentence behind Wabi Sabi is the art is in the imperfections. And that is so true. And it really follows the philosophy of nature and the randomness and perfection of the way nature completes stuff. And there are no straight lines, there are like things all over everywhere. And it's a really amazing mindset to be able to let go and not be so concerned. Up until that time, like I wanted everything absolutely perfect, and I go back, no, man. And now, like the marks that happen accidentally, like I make those happen. I tear some of the edges of my paintings just to make it imperfect, because to me that actually is perfect. I think the reason I attach to it so hard is just it kind of reflects my own flawed nature. And I don't say that in like I'm terrible. I think I'm terrible. I think those flaws and those scars and those um, twisted things that have happened over the course of my experience through life, I think those things enhance me, and one of the things that it really talked about a lot, but I didn't get it back then, but I totally get it now, is the whole like natural aging of things and the way things and um, change and mutate, and it makes them more beautiful in such a crazy way. Hey, I hope I'm saying this right. Kara Jade? Yeah, welcome. Um, and it's really made my art journey so deep. Jennifer McCormick, welcome. Right before the show, I'm really glad you're here because I got a really distinct. The Angels are really loud tonight, man. They've been with me all day. I've been working with them all weekend, and anyway, I, they kind of told me to give you a yell, so and do a reading for you. So you're first up tonight, man. Please make sure you stick around for the readings, and I'll grab you first. Hello, Linda Davis. Really good to see you. So I wanted to show you, some examples of Wabi Sabi are some of the beautiful, not so manicured Japanese gardens. Some of the gardens in Kyoto, oh, the waterfalls and the rocks, and none of the plants are all trimmed up and perfect. They're all just kind of like surviving and interweaving together, just really really beautiful. And some of my favorite examples of wabi sabi art, raku pottery, and they had the rough edges on them. There was always usually a scratch or some sort of mark on the outside of it. And I love those. I love the happy accidents in a big way. So I was doing some looking back through some of my work over the years, and I ran across a group of work. Here, let me bring these up. Yeah. So these are a series that I did with melted crayons. I've mentioned before that like I was a crayon freak. I've made an oracle out of a 64 crayon box, and like they're big. I don't know why I'm fascinated. I think it's the color thing. I think that's why I do my nails too. I've always just loved color. Give me some color. And these happened like initially by accident. I was doing a shot for something else altogether, a little product shot, and I had some crayons out, and I was out in the sun. I use the sun a lot for my lighting source, and it was on a piece of black glass, and I left it out in the sun for a couple hours while I went back inside and did some stuff. And I came out and the crayons were all melted together. And I was like, wow, that is super cool. So I got out my trusty magnifying glass and started like experimenting with laying out like these colors and moving them around and letting them just go by themselves and see where they wanted to go. And I picked colors based on how I was feeling and what I wanted to do, but I gave these little or no interference along the way. So I really like these a lot. I'm going to run you through a few of these. This one I especially love. It's just so graphic and intense, and it looks like it's lava. It's floating asteroids. I just am always amazed and surprised at the end when I get to look at stuff and like you got this thing that you never could have imagined at the beginning of it. Yeah. So the edge of the black glass. And this is, oh man, I sprinkled, there was some rain and sprinkled raindrops on the surface. And so I got deeply into that and noticing how the drops of water become these little lenses, and I just love it. I don't know if any of you were, if these candies are still around. I haven't seen these in ages and ages, but there used to be these little strips of paper with all these little colored sugar dots on them, and you would eat them, and that's what these images remind me of in a big way, especially like this one. This one, yeah, just such rich color and texture to them in a really cool way. And this one, um, yeah, look at all the eyes and the lips. Like that's a perfect set of lips. There's another one down here in the left corner, perfect set of lips. And if you go up from those, there's all these eyes looking out. This one is crazy. I showed this in an art show, and it was blown up really big, and it was super super cool. Yes, button candy, exactly, Katie. Welcome. And last but not least, the angel in the water. And this has always been a particularly favorite image of mine. I had it on my wall for a while, and the angel happening in the little water. Some people see a hummingbird. Um, to me, it was an angel, and the really muted monotone colors in this just tickle me. And the way the drop down here like magnifies that texture back there, really super fun. So anyway, that's kind of my Wabi Sabi artwork. Let's get rid of these. All right. Oh, definitely, we're at that time. All right, we're going to take a ride down to blank space. I've been wondering if everybody was digging it, or if they were bored with it, or like where everyone was at it. And actually, this morning I got several emails. Man, the spirit must have been out there really working to give me some positive feedback, because a couple people like commented on the blank space thing specifically, and I can't emphasize enough how like important that's going to be in the next coming years, to be able to get to that place and to be able to maneuver around just after that place. And blank space, I've said this before. I know this to be true now. It's like the core of my personal practice right now. The blank space is not blank. Blank space is superposition quantum field. It's the it's the place where the quantum field is all possibilities. Nothing has been measured, and the wave has not collapsed on any of those. So you're at the center of the universe, surrounded by all possibilities. That's a pretty miraculous space. And from that place, you can make a lot of really crazy things happening. All right. Oh, Jennifer, nice. Tom, good to see you. Charlene, welcome. All right, let's make some sacred space, and you know, wait for while I'm doing the words, gather your energy, and when you hear the clang, just shoot out a burst of bright white light, and just make your whole environment where you're at right now just really pristine and pure. All right, here we go. With the radiant light of the source, we vanish and clean this space. We make this place pure. With the brilliant, radiant light of the source, we vanish and clean this space. Wow, you guys are loud. We make this place pure. With the radiant light of the source, the true light, place with no duality. I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. We joyously come together tonight to create our sacred space, our sacred circle, place of safety, sanctuary, and light. We ask that the angels, our guides and allies, be with us this evening, share their knowledge, their wisdom, and their love of the source. We ask that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude, for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, infinite unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source, we open our circle. All right, let's take our journey. I'm going to inhale really deeply. You're going to take in gold source healing energy. You're going to use your solar plexus to draw, take it in through your nose, let that energy just flow down and infuse every part of your body. If you have something specific that you're working on health-wise, tune your intent before we do this to send it all to that specific space, that place, actually. It really is super helpful. All right. I want you to also, on the inhale, take in as much air as you can. When you feel like you're full, see if you can pack in a little more and just make it absolutely packed in there. All right. And then on our trip out, on our release, just follow my voice and slowly release your breath, getting narrow and narrower, your attention coming to the point of silence. And when I say silence, just kind of freeze frame. If you haven't gone here before and you're just trying to get into this, that moment where you just freeze, you don't think, you don't breathe, you let your body hang, it's just like you're just frozen in a still frame for a few seconds. Hard to hold your breath for that long, but the point to that is to get you to that space and start writing that groove, and then being able to go there longer and breathe. And that's kind of the point of our weekly sojourn down there. All right. And then on the last one, we're going to hold it for 30 seconds. When we get to that spot, you don't have to hold your breath for 30 seconds, but try to hold that mindset. If you find your mind wandering, you start to consider, like, just get a word, stop or off or quit, or like just give yourself a command to just shut everything off and try to stay in as pure a space of non-active awareness as you possibly can. All right, here we go. Yeah, Og, I feel you out there. Come with us. Here we go. Inhale, bright gold energy in through the nose. Draw with your solar plexus, really feel it. And release the noise, the chaos, the static of the world fading into the distance. No thoughts, no mind. Deeper, deeper silence. And inhale, make it count. Really fill it up, stretch it. And release. sinking deeper and deeper into the bliss of the silence. No future, no past. Deeper silence. Last one, we're going to hold this one. Inhale, make a count. Bright gold. Light your light body up. And release. Turning off the machine. Winding down. Silence. $15. And 30. Take a nice breath. Stay in that space. Come out of blank space to floating on the energetic ocean. Calm, smooth, golden energy. Your body is completely relaxed. No tension anywhere. You can see the energy flowing around. All right, we're going to do, we'll do a 4-4-4 box breathe. 4 inhale, 4 hold, 4 exhale, 4 hold. All right, we're going to do 8 of those. Now, when you're inhaling and you're in the ocean, on that inhale breath, draw in energy. Wow. From the energy around, from the ocean around you. Let it just fill up and replace and rejuvenate all of your energy. On the exhale, just push out any negative thoughts, any energy that's worn out, anything that needs replacing. And we're just going to channel through, making a nice little energy clear. All right. Here we go. Let's begin. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Inhale. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Inhale. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Inhale. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Inhale. Last one. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. Take a nice deep breath. Feel that energy just circulating through you, raising your vibration, making your light grow bright. Sometimes I never want to come back. All right, time to slowly come back to your body. Take 3 nice deep breaths. Just slowly come back to your awareness. Awesome. Next week, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to go up in the sky. Yeah. Hello, Trisha Ann. Hello, Mr. Zen. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, Carla. Everybody very welcome. Yes. All right. Let's pull some angel cards. Jennifer McCormick, this one's for you. You're still around with me, right? All right. You know the drill, my girl. Nice and focused. We're already in that space. Just stay nice and clear. Very loud tonight. All right. Words of wisdom from my good friend Jennifer. Words of wisdom from my good friend Jennifer. Words of wisdom for my good friend Jennifer. This is number 8, the Angel of Divine Blessings. Also one of my favorite cards. Screwed up here. Hang on a second. Let me get my little readings up. There we go. All right. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten this card. And I can always stop at the very first line. Karmic lessons are never easy. Accept this and understand the challenge. Don't surrender. Wow. I have the feeling these are going to be for all of us tonight as much as they are for individuals. Don't surrender. Find your new treasures in the rubble of the old. New potentials are created by the setback. Worry takes you out of the moment, the only place where you can affect change. Live in the moment and handle the bumps as they come. Stay clear of the what ifs of tomorrow and the if onlys of yesterday. You're experiencing a deep spiritual need. Go deep within and seek inner counsel. You have a difficult collapse can free you. Whether or not you can recycle that debris of the collapse into something better totally depends on you and the people you surround yourself with. When you find things difficult to understand, keep positive and look for the light ahead. Everything changes. Nothing is forever. There you go, girlfriend. That was really it doesn't happen all that often. Like they did that for Arnie a couple months ago. That was like really specific for you. So I hope you'll take that and just kind of sit with it, see what it means to you. Okay. All right. Let me get up here. All right. Carla, I'm going to pull an angel card for you. I don't really usually channel people's spirits, people's family too much, um, but I'll be happy to pull an angel card for you. And if something comes through, I'll be happy to pass it on. All right. All right, Carla. Just take a nice deep breath. Get really, really. You're welcome, Jennifer. Get really centered. If you have something specific, question wise, really beam that to me, and let me clue in. All right, and just get really focused. Let me connect. Words of wisdom for my friend Carla. Words of wisdom for my friend Carla. Words of wisdom for my friend Carla. Wow, this one jumped out, Carla. Also, one of my favorite cards too. Number 30, the angel of fertility. When you are on the top of the hill, there is always someone who wants that spot and challenges you. Face the envy and jealousy of those who want what you have. There will be times when you feel outnumbered. It will appear that everyone is against you. Feel the strength within you, that source energy. Yeah, that's the place to go every single time. Don't allow fear to discourage you. Recognize that your position is always stronger than you think it is. Don't give in to depression or anxiety. Define a clear course of action, and your self confidence will return to overcome all the obstacles. Have complete trust in your inner voice. Remain patient, make no rash, unwise decision, and be fearless, for you are never alone. And, I know you're, let's see, yeah, okay. Last week on the show was the 1 year anniversary of my son passing. So my heart connects in a deep and profound way to that pain. And I would just say to you that she's in a really cool place and that you have the power to help. You're not helpless in this. You're not in a situation that there's nothing you can do. And what you can do is transmute and transform your grief and your pain from missing them into unconditional love and your deepest wish to elevate them and help them evolve, and sending them straight to the source and the absolute place of bliss. And for me, that's the only way I've gotten through like losing my son. Is just every time I go there, every time I feel that like hand around my chest, I remember the good things about him. I remember the joy that we brought each other. And I take all of that and I send it to his soul and push him right towards the light. And I came to really kind of understand over the past couple of decades when I've lost so many people, I can't even begin to tell you that, sometimes your grief, sometimes your like desire to have them still with you doesn't help them move on and doesn't help them in their evolution. And it becomes a little bit of a tether. And I really have taken it on as a mode to just convert that. And it makes you feel better too at the end of that, to realize that you've helped them, that you sent them love, and that you're still connected in every way, shape, or form. So, from one parent to another, much love, and send out your light, baby. Ooh, yeah, it'll be all right. Okay, let's see who else. Yeah, all right. Man, Vivian, this one's for you. I thought about you so much while I was getting my Wabi Sabi thing together. Japanese philosophy has really deeply influenced my whole life. So we'll have to have a conversation about that sometime. All right, girlfriend, you know what to do. Get really focused. If you have something specific, beam that in. If not, we'll just see what they have to say. Sometimes they hang in the back and just kind of whisper. Man, tonight there's like the whole crowd is here and they are very vociferous. All right, let's hook it up here, Vivian. Get really nice and focused. Words of wisdom from my good friend Vivian. Words of wisdom from my good friend Vivian. Words of wisdom from my good friend Vivian. Ah, number 14, the angel of truth, liberty, and justice. The Superman card. The doves like make me really happy. Freedom has arrived. Yay. You want to stop? That's good. Look with objective, open eyes and see clearly how you have created the situation you're experiencing. Free yourself from those oppressive circumstances. Blend your creativity and imagination and your logic and reason. See things clearly and use your powers to transform any situation. You can turn this thing into anything you want. Recognize when you're in your life when you have power and rebuild. You have a tremendous potential for focusing on innovative ideas and releasing the necessary burst of energy. Don't back yourself into a corner and deliberately try to get yourself into seemingly impossible situations in order to force a really creative solution. Liberate yourself using your intuition and your ingenuity. Know that you will soon be free to fly like the wind. Believe and trust there will be relaxation from all your tension and fear as the pressures ease off and the whole situation just seems to turn around. The tarot card that goes with this is the Eight of Swords, and I love this card because it so graphically illustrates how your perspective is your world. And the original Rider-Waite card for this shows a king up on the balcony overlooking the kingdom, and in front of him on the rail are eight swords like put in the rail, and it looks like a jail cell, like he can't get out, like there's no way to go. But then you look behind him, and the whole room is open, and all he has to do is not try to like go through the swords, but turn around and go another way. And I use that more times than I can possibly tell you. So anyway, believe and trust there will be relaxation from all your tension and fears as the pressure eases off and the whole situation just boom turns around. Awesome. All right, let's see, who else do we have here? Charlene, this one's for you. You're welcome, Vivian. Always a pleasure to share energy with you. All right, Charlene, here we go. Your mind's all over the place. Get focused. Bring it down. Still. Words of wisdom from my friend Charlene. Words of wisdom from my friend Charlene. Words of wisdom from my friend Charlene. Okay, number 68, the Angel of Healing. There we go. Here's another one. We'll just stop on the first. Like, exercise your intuition, awareness, and correct response, and ask yourself if the time to leave has really come. That's a really good question, and that's a really good question to ask yourself in objective zone, not in your emotions. Sometimes the memory of when things were good keeps you tied to something that no longer is good. Is there a single indication that this situation still gives you joy and meaning? Or are you leaving the situation because you lack the courage to really pursue it with all your heart and squeeze every drop you can get from it? Your pattern in life has been to become involved in relationships, work, or projects, and then run away when it hits a really difficult moment or when the time comes for an actual commitment. Be aware of your material pleasures or when you have an urgent need for money. Acknowledge these needs and your desire for complete change and a different vibration. Change your perspective and you change your world. When you become bored with your present lifestyle, focus all your energy on a new direction. That was that Chariot card at the very beginning. Like a single-minded focus on what you want, not what you hate. You are now ready to break your overextension habits and stop suffocating your emotional vitality. Be absolutely sure before making any changes and keep your decisions coming from the light. They're not always warm and fuzzy, but they always tell you what you need to hear. I used to make a joke about, the demons. Demons will tell you anything you want to hear. Angels will tell you what you need to hear. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's see. Lenora, still with me, my girl? All right. All right. All right. Lenora, this one's for you. All right, baby. Take it 3 really nice deep breaths and just get really centered. Imagine we're standing face to face, looking each other directly in the eye. Words of wisdom from my friend Leona. Words of wisdom from my friend Leona. Wow, yeah, I've got a tough situation going on. Number 19, the angel of expansive intelligence. Uh, they can be brutal, but they can be really kind too. You are about to be gifted love that is nurturing, creative, clearly focused, inspirational, and equally fulfilling. A beginning to a new romance in which you will experience communication, balance, and deep love. Together, you will reach your goals. The seed is blossomed into a tree of appreciation, two souls equally cherished. Good, solid ideas can pass between two people. Respect will blend your two hearts together. The feeling of being simultaneously special to one another. Expect a surprise. Two whole, complete souls, when united, create a third construct larger than either of them separately. A love affair which will unite your separate qualities and abilities through love to produce something in your lives beyond what either of you could have achieved alone. That's a miraculous state. Love gives meaning to the sexual drive that leads you to it. You will find success once you have connected your spiritual and material world into one. I know that this really, and the tarot card that goes with this is the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is really about the moment, like the Ace of Cups is that moment where you realize you're open to love. The Two of Cups is like, you're walking into a bar and you sit down and you like see somebody's eyes across the room, and like there's just this instant spark, and you want to find, both of you want to like find out in that like cool little rhythm. So that's a distinct possibility. As much as that could be an actual real person, one of the things I just kept getting over and over and over again was that kind of relationship with the source. Like that's a relationship that like fosters goodness in every other relationship you'll ever have. That's the place you can go for healing and growth and love and connecting to that unconditionally. That's what we do in the opening of the circle every week, like unconditional love to the source. And I wake up every morning, have my cup of coffee and watch the sunrise and just like connect. And understanding when you really connect with that, you're outside of all of the world stuff, all of the layers of things trying to control stuff, and you are in the brilliance and the bliss of that brilliance. And keep your eyes out for uh, a good super good friend, super good love connection, and expect that surprise. All right. And I'm really my heart goes out to you. Feeling lost is a difficult feeling, but that's always where you know the the light blooms after the darkness. It's at the moment of greatest darkness that we realize the light within, and the light within is a piece of the source. So keep your eyes out for a surprise and foster that relationship, like with everything you have. We are definitely running out of time. I probably have time for one more. Let's see here. All right. Bear with me here. All right. I was drawn to you like a while ago. This one is for Presh. Presh, are you still with us? Okay, excellent. All right, Presh, get really nice and centered and focused. If you have a specific question, beam that to me really hard. If not, just be open and let's connect. Words of wisdom for my new friend Presh. Words of wisdom for my new friend Presh. Words of wisdom for my new friend Presh. Number 15, the angel of purification. Carefully review your situation now. Laser focus on your priorities and full steam ahead. Face your fears head on. Feel your grief and take time to heal. Complete the process by transmuting loss and pain into joy. Experience pain, identify the source of the emotions that you are experiencing, and then you will know what core belief it is you must change. Stress and depression are the last despair of your reason before the birth of brand new possibilities. They break through the unconscious and flow freely. Prioritize now. Man, that's really crucial. When you got a big plate full of stuff, find the thing, the smallest thing that you can actually start affecting and just begin. And don't let yourself get distracted. Like, just go through methodically. Prioritize now what is most important for you to complete. Immerse yourself completely and totally in that work. Have faith in yourself and the path you have committed to. Mind is now keenly aware of self and of the magnitude of what it is asked to be privy to. It has asked for and been given access to a level of knowledge which has a commensurate level of responsibility that now demands the letter of the law. The more you know, the more you owe, and the more you know, the more you realize you don't know and never will. And that's the glorious beauty of it. Like, never getting to the end. It's infinite and joyous and wonderful. Get out of your head, Presh. Like, don't overthink. Like, you circle think a lot. And chewing on that bone, understand what you're thinking about and spending your time thinking about, like, and you feel about what you're thinking, you're sending out a frequency out into the universe. And the laws of energy dictate whatever frequency goes out gets reflected back with more lessons and more people in that same zone. So just make sure that what you're thinking about, think about what you want, not what you hate, or not how somebody's pissed you off, or like, don't go down that road at all. All right. And you'll find things starting to just kind of turn around on their own. And what was a struggle soon becomes just really easy and flowing, right? Okay. All right. Wow. I keep pushing the time a little farther every week. We really have run out of time tonight. I'm sorry for anyone that didn't get their readings. If you guys show up next week, let me know that, like, you were here and needed something. I'll be happy to, like, hook you up first. Okay. All right. So hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you can. And if you have any questions, you want to get in touch with me, I'm way open to communicating. You can do Brian Lar at Gmail or wizard at wizardofod.com. Either one of those, I'm happy to communicate with you. Press, you're really welcome. You too. I like all of you. Wow, thank you, Vivian. That's so kind of you. I'm completely forgetting something I needed to say, but I can't remember what it is. So I'm just really grateful for you guys showing up and sharing energy. And I really want to, like, man, like, every one of these readings could have been like talking to me tonight. So, like, I think that the more we gather together and combine our energy, and I still want to get together a group energy, like, practice thing. The more of those readings sort of are appropriate for all of us. And I hope you feel better at the end of the show than you did at the beginning. And I look forward to sharing space again with you next week. And until then, and make sure you stick around. Jennifer Rose is coming right up. She's gonna smack me in the skull for, like, making her late all the time. Sorry, my darling. I'm bad. My bad. Stick around for the love show. It should be a really, really good one. All right. And without further ado, we joyously come to the end of our gathering and send everyone on their happy way. We thank our angels, our guides, our allies for their wisdom, their knowledge, and most of all, their love of the source. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly, infinite, unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week,